You've reached the Union of Metro Street podcast, where we discuss the San Diego music scene of the late 80s and all of the 90s, from the shows we worked to the shows we played. Here we go.
Hello, everyone. I am Dino Cazares from the infamous group Fear Factory, Asesino, Divine Heresy, and Brujeria.
And I am the infamous Rocky Cazares from Seattle.
From San Diego, but lives in Seattle.
I'm in Seattle now.
Well, welcome, guys. We appreciate you guys doing this podcast with us.
Yeah, so speaking of Brujeria, I love that band name. When Jerry had once told me about Brujeria, how long
At least you can say it right. Most people are Brujeria.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
my wife's Mexican, so,
There you go.
and I live in San Diego, so you kind of have to learn
You
how
better
to
say it right.
Yeah.
You get a hit with the other hand.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I may be the Wado, but I can speak a little bit of
Just take
Spanish.
out
Can I get a tortilla, please? Can I get a tortilla? Can I get some of that guac?
Exactly. But let's get back to Brujeria. When did are you a founding member of the band or
A what?
A founding?
member, yes, founding member of the band since 1989.
that band's so good.
Yep.
So-
Released the first 7-inch in 1990, 3 7-inches. Then the first record came out in 1992 called Matando Güeros.
That's when I used to play that. After I was at Soma, I ended up working at a 7-Eleven. Well, did that for like 3 years as I was trying to find my place. And I would play that album, and most of the people working there were Mexican. So the one girl would say to me, "Hey, you know what they're saying, right?" And I go, "I know some of it. They're kind of saying some stuff." And I'm like, "No, it's good. It's good. I'm aware of it."
Yeah, well, the whole theory behind that was that in 1987, I believe it was, or 88, there was a drug cartel based out of Matamoros, Mexico, and they also practiced black magic.
Yeah.
And they believed that the Dark Lord would protect them from the drug federales. But it didn't. One of them got caught and brought down the operation. And when they went to go investigate the ranch where they packed up all the trucks with all the drugs and heroin and cocaine, and mainly cocaine and weed, they also found a little shack that they would practice their blood rituals there.
Yeah.
So Christmas 1988, 1988, we saw it in the newspaper. It said Brujeria really big on the front of the newspaper. And that's where we got the name from.
Oh, okay.
And we based it off the story of that cartel.
That's a cartel.
Yeah.
That's
And so,
awesome.
Yeah, there's a book on it. It's called Hell Ranch.
Okay.
So if anybody wants to go check it out.
Yeah, now I have to, now that I understand the story. Because I do, my wife's parents are from Mexico.
Yeah, but basically it's what I call as border politics, because it's everything from the drug cartel fighting for the borders, the politicians using the border as a tool to try to gain votes, things like that. People being smuggled, people jumping the fence, whatever. We always talked about. I call it border politics.
Yeah. The things that are still going on now.
Exactly. So nothing's changed.
Yeah. Except Brujeria albums are out there, and come on. So how did you get hooked up with Alternative Tentacles and Jello?
Billy Gould from Faith No More.
Oh, okay.
He was also one of the bass players in the band, the first bass player actually, and he knew all those guys because they're all the way up in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they introduced us to Jello and everybody, and we became fast friends because he was also into, he's also into all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Politics, things like that.
Yeah.
I also released the 7-inch, but we'll talk about that later.
So what? After that, when did you start doing Fear Factory?
1990.
Oh, really?
So Brujeria was my first band. Pretty much my first band. First, I guess you would call real band in LA, when I was in LA.
When did you start playing music?
Probably when I was 9. There was an acoustic guitar laying around. It wasn't the best, but it had some really messed up strings on it. But I saw AC/DC on TV.
Yeah.
I picked up the guitar and I tried to play like Angus Young.
Yeah. That's awesome. I can relate. I had a acoustic guitar as well, and tried to play it, and that's why I play the bass now, because I still can't play a guitar worth crap.
Yeah, then my brother stepped on it and broke the neck, and then
not me.
No, a different brother. So it set me back a little while. Me back a little bit. Yeah.
You do any bands in high school or anything, or?
I had a band when I was like 17. It's called Violent Breed. It's kind of just a cover band, nothing really.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And that was local in San Diego, or?
No, it was local in El Centro.
Oh, okay.
Because that's where I'm originally from, El Centro, California.
Oh, okay, cool.
Which is about an hour or so from here.
Yeah.
Hour and 30 minutes east.
I remember going out there. There's a scene out there back in, I believe, about 2000. We went out there to do a house party, and there's a crazy scene out there.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like,
we just played Mexicali. It was amazing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Mexicali is just right across the border from El Centro. Yeah. So we just played a show there not that long ago, a month or so ago. And it was, there's still a big scene out there.
Oh, there is? Cool.
Oh, yeah. It's raging.
That's awesome. They're still doing the house parties.
It's with my band Asesino, so that's, sings all in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
It's known. So, we draw pretty well.
Okay. And then, so...
Asesino was my character name in Brujeria.
Oh, okay.
So, because we had to be fictitious characters because we couldn't reveal our real identity because Billy Gould was on Warner Brother Records. And if Warner Brother Records found out that he was doing that, Brujeria, then they wouldn't really allow him to do it. You know what I mean? So,
oh, yeah.
We had to use fake names.
Yeah. And then hence the whole scarves and the hype behind it.
Yeah, the bandanas over the face.
But that's what made the whole thing even seem more legit. I mean, you could pick someone off of the street, and then you guys are walking up, and no one can know that you're a band.
It's funny, the most famous people that were in the band are not in the band anymore. The most known people who are known for being in the band are not in the band anymore.
Like who?
Billy Gould.
And?
Myself.
And?
That's it.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't Raymond in the band too?
He played on the record but didn't play live.
Okay.
Well, the guy from Credible Filth played in there too, right?
He was only in Credible Filth for a little while, yeah. But Nick Barker, he's still in the band. But
yeah, I was looking up on YouTube.
Compared to Billy, he's like the biggest guy.
Yeah.
The most known guy, I'll say.
Right.
Is Pat still in the band?
Yeah.
So how many years did you do?
Whenever they want to, really. Huh?
How many years were you in the band?
I sold my rights to the name in 2000, I'm going to say 14, around there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not bad. So then, what's the most main focus you have right now? Are you just doing the Fear Factory, or with
All the above.
Are you
All the above.
putting emphasis on everything?
Fear Factory, Asesino, working on a new Divine Heresy record as well. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I the
I can't
car
hear them now.
song,
I can't hear anybody now. But go ahead.
the car song,
Yeah.
Gary Numan.
Yeah.
I heard that when Jerry had brought it up, so I'm like looked up the new one. I think it was on iHeartRadio or something, and found that. What's the history? Just this is morbid curiosity for myself, but how did that come to play?
When we were on tour around '96 with Ozzy, we did a U.S. and a European tour with Ozzy on his Retirement Sucks tour, and we were sitting in a hotel because Ozzy likes to have a lot of days off. So we were sitting in a hotel, pretty much somewhere in England, and a Carling's beer commercial comes on. I guess it's a English beer or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Commercial comes on. They use that song "Cars," and I was like, "Oh wow, I haven't heard that song since the '80s."
Yeah.
And so I was like, when we got to rehearsal after the tour, we were writing for Obsolete. I started playing that song during rehearsals, and it just kind of stuck. And then we just did it as an extra B-side
Right.
track. And then the label, well, going back to the song, the label contacted Gary Numan for us, and he said, "Sure, I would love to come and sing with the guys." So we did a version where it's half Gary, half our singer, and it really took off, and it really opened a lot of doors for us. We sold a shit ton of records. We have a gold record in the U.S. because of that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because of that song. It's reaching platinum.
That's
Reaching
crazy.
platinum. Yeah, it's been years, but it's reaching platinum.
And then also, I remember they used that song for a credit card commercial.
Yeah, they used it for American Express Blue Card. It was called the Blue Card.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like their new weird futuristic looking blue card they were using. So they used that song. Yeah, but it's been used in a lot of things. I've heard it on Howard Stern. I heard it on Channel 5 News and
KFI, AM 640. They use it too.
Okay, cool. I didn't know that one. They use it for the sports news on Channel 5.
Wow.
Yeah, so they use it in the background for sports. It was cool. Yeah, it went a long ways, that song.
Well, it's done so well. When I first heard it, I was like, "What the?" Because I had to look at going through my phone with my little earbuds. I thought I was listening to Fear Factory, and I looked down, and I'm like, "Damn, this is good." And like now, I'm getting chills because it's one of those songs when you know it, it strikes an emotion in you. You start thinking of times, and when people do a song, they'll do a cover, but then when other people do it, they're doing the song and doing it proper justice. And I mean, the way you guys did it, I got to admit, dude, it was amazing.
We sold a good amount of records before the label released that track. We had sold about 175,000 records in the U.S. before they released the track to college radio first. They put it on college radio, and it started getting a lot of traction there all through college radio.
Yeah.
And then it was like, hey, let's try it, on modern rock radio. So they did. And then it just took off. But it was short-lived. It didn't last very long because program directors were like, okay, let's add this track. But then people started to call, like listeners were calling in and complaining because when they bought the record, it was all brutal.
Oh,
that song. So they thought it was like, false advertisement.
Oh, okay.
So people were pissed off because like I said, they were modern rock people, and they thought maybe they're going to hear more songs similar to that. But they put it on, and Shock comes on, and they're like, "What the fuck is this shit?" So
It's a trap.
yeah.
But on the other hand, it sells more
the program
records.
director started to take it out slowly but surely. Yeah.
It's such a good song, and realistically, you listen to Shock and you listen to that, and you're like. But personally, it's a great song. Being a musician and understanding the dynamics of a song.
Yeah, we were the band. We were kind of the odd band because a lot of radio stations every summer they would have their own radio concerts.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like I'm sure there was one in San Diego.
We did a couple. If I remember, Jerry, I know we did one with 91X. There's the infamous one with Insane Clown Posse
And Radiohead.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got to play with a lot of bands like that, and we were the odd band out because we were the heavy band compared to everybody else.
Yeah.
Right? Three Doors Down and, whatever, Godsmack and just a lot of bands like that.
Right.
Even Limp Bizkit, I guess they were kind of heavy, but Limp Bizkit and stuff like that. So we were playing with all these radio rock bands that we would normally never play with.
Right.
Right. And it was just a weird experience, but it was fun nonetheless because, we got to meet other people.
Right.
Than the regular death metal or metal crowd that we're used to hanging out with.
Which is pretty territorial in a sense as far as the metal crowd.
Yeah.
so it's kind of bad.
People were okay. Like those fans were okay that we were doing those radio stations because they would come out. They'd be like, they kind of felt like one of our bands they felt like, oh, one of our bands made it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But again, it was short lived. It was only like for one summer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It didn't last that long.
It's still, I love that song, to be honest.
Yeah.
So getting my own personal favorite and fandom out of the way. But speaking of, so where before we start getting some stories and stuff, where are you at right now? What projects do you got going on that you want to promote? That
everything that I mentioned. Everything that I mentioned.
Are you on tour soon or?
Yeah. My band Asesino is doing another tour, Texas and Mexico, starting in June. And we got a show in Tijuana on the 25th, I believe.
Okay, cool.
Then after that tour, I do the Max and Igor from Sepultura. Max and Igor tour. Sepultura all through South America, doing like shows in Mexico, Brazil, Colombia, Argentina, Chile.
Oh, wow.
Peru. Yeah.
Those will be some really big shows, huh?
Yeah. That was from the video shoot.
It's me and Gary Numan.
Oh, okay. That's crazy. Oh, so you have a... Now we go back to... You even have a video.
We made a video for Cars, yeah. It was on MTV, too, for a little bit.
Wow. So that would be on YouTube for...
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm barely catching up with the iPhone 35 or whatever it is now. I'm like... I found out how to get YouTube on my TV, and yesterday I was watching some Fear Factory stuff. I'm like, I got to get some research. Get something in my head. So I figured, and I'm one of those ones that using a remote have to use both fingers to go through the different letters. My daughter can I can't do it. I'm not technologic, I play a bass because it's easier than a guitar. So this technology stuff, finding stuff on the internet and all that, beyond me.
Mm-hmm.
I had this, it's a mental block. I'll just go ride my skateboard.
We're too old for that shit.
And you're probably younger than we are.
Possibly. How old am I? I'm turning
54.
Yeah, I'm 50. Yeah, so I'm 53. Halloween, baby. I'm gonna hit that big.
You're just a kid.
I wish. Well, we don't need to divulge ages, but we can. So you guys have been around for a little bit longer.
I'll be 60 in August.
No way.
Yes.
60. So, well, let's jump into with Rocket. When you were at Soma, how old were you then?
In his 30s.
Yeah, it was in my 30s, early 30s. It was like
Jerry remembers.
94, 95, 96, around there.
Yeah.
It was actually, the first time you came to Soma was with Downset, Far, and the Deftones.
Yes.
You were teching.
Yeah, I was
Who was headlining?
Downset, right?
For Chris.
Who was headlining?
Who was headlining was the Deftones, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Far opened. It was a good show. That was a great show. That was just a one show.
That was a side stage show, but it was crazy.
But I had been working with Downset I worked for them for about a year and a half, on and off.
Which Soma did you work at?
I worked at the one.
Second Metro.
The one by Tri
Metro. Yeah.
Second Metro. Yeah.
So the one that Fear Factory played at on Obsolete.
98.
98. Yeah, 98.
The one where you threw your mic stand off there.
Yeah, let's not bring it up. The guy can still sue me.
I thought there was like a...
I know. I'm just kidding.
Statute of limitations.
Yeah, statute of limitations.
Yeah, we looked that up.
Not, I don't know.
Well, he has to listen to it first and then be stupid enough to drag it out and be embarrassed on social media and be canceled.
Yeah.
That's the guy's claim to fame. So, he got hit in the head with a mic stand by Dino. And what
the power went out like 2 or 3 times, and it kept
jacking up the
we
sound.
couldn't even finish the first song.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the power kept going.
At the end of the show, Lynn goes, at least they could have gave me half the money back.
Who said that?
It's Lynn.
No, Lynn wasn't there anymore. That was a Golden Voice show.
But there was one show where that happened. No, it was that show.
No, because Lynn wasn't there. Lynn was gone. He took off. He sold it to Golden Voice. That was a Golden Voice show.
Was there another show that you guys played there where something happened?
Yeah, that was a different band, but not like that.
Well, you're talking about the new song.
Yeah.
Lynn told me
That's a whole different.
Lynn, I remember Lynn telling. That's one thing I remember. Lynn saying, "At least they could have given me half the money back."
Why though?
Because I don't know. That was what he said to me.
Because you guys blew the power?
Yeah. Because of power.
Something was happening with the power. I don't know.
And
that was at Metro Obsolete Tour. Yeah, the power
Is
went
that
out
the only
twice.
time it's happened, or did it happen to other bands?
No, that was
No, I think I blew the power. But it was my fault because...
Oh, you were there when that happened.
No, he wasn't there.
Okay.
No, not that one. No, by then I was already gone.
The
But
one that should have been hit with the mic.
well, Len probably called me up to yell at me about
Who
it.
else did you blow? Just kidding. I meant like what other bands did you blow the power?
No, when I was playing, I could swear one of the times I rarely played because I was always booking everyone else and to work and then have to go up on stage. I joke about being sponsored by Coors Light. I would drink so much before I would go on because I still to this day I'm nervous. I have
Stage fright.
Big time. That's why I hide behind the bass and that's why I tell everyone to fuck off and then I play. It's not a punk rock thing. It's what the fuck am I still doing this for? I'm nervous as hell. And I just had a 6-pack, and I'm supposed to be working the show. So I rarely did, but I can swear one time, I think it was my band Meat, because we had 2 bass players.
Meat?
Yeah. Like chicken, meat, beef.
Yeah, meat, yeah.
And it was an anti-vegan movement band.
Yeah.
So we were down-tuned where, I've told the story before, but the bass strings are basic, and I'm going through an orange distortion. My GK... 2 JBLs, strings are flopping in the wind. If someone farts in the audience, it's going to cause distortion. Oh, love that. And I can swear it was that band.
Sometimes it worked.
Yeah, we made it. I mean, the band was pretty good. We had Mike from Scheller on guitar. We did 3 different vocals. It was a good, heavy, fun band, and I could swear we did blow the side stage power.
So going back to blowing the power, how, did they ever figure out what it was?
Was with you guys. That was the sound company that it blew.
Yeah, they were probably
Was it Rat Sound?
Actually at that time it was Rat Sound. Yeah.
So it was probably because the building the way it was wired was not.
Was it the building that was shutting down, or was it just the PA that was shutting down?
I think it was the PA.
Oh, okay. So it was probably going into protection mode then.
Probably,
They were probably running it to...
So yeah,
because they're running too hot.
I remember, you guys came out, started the first song, and then boom, there was no sound.
Well, that's gone.
And then you guys started again, and it went out again.
Yeah.
And then that's when you got pissed off, and then
The guy in
Then they
front
got
row
it fixed.
The guy in front row forgot to get into protection mode.
You should have wore a helmet.
But the rest of the show was amazing. It went pretty good, actually.
But I threw the mic stand in the crowd, hit the guy in the head, cut his head open.
Yeah.
I don't remember did we give him anything?
You gave him a bunch of merch.
You came backstage.
You signed
There you go.
everything. You took him back there. He had the time of his life backstage.
Yeah,
You guys treated him like a king.
I still talk to him once in a while.
Oh yeah.
Send him stuff. Yeah.
Still keep in touch.
Yeah. Still send him stuff.
Does he got a scar?
Yes.
My
As a matter of fact,
factory scar.
I got him in free to some shows, in the last few
He's
years.
fucking milking that. Dude,
He's got his own eBay account.
He's milking it. I sent him some shoes, all kinds
the
of stuff.
scar is healed. Let it go. I paid enough. How long are you gonna keep me hostage on this?
But that that's another thing though that just you're going above and beyond the Call of Duty. I mean, there's plenty of people that out of all that from working there.
Yeah.
And then, you bring up like Rat Sound and from being on tour. Shit happens all the time, and we have, supposedly this, permanent building, but shit still happens.
Yeah.
You can blow, like in the building where I believe, Jerry, do you remember if it was twice that we would blow a circuit, not the house lights?
I thought it was a circuit that was blowing because I remember somebody had to stand by there, turn it back on.
Maybe.
Some guy standing there holding the switch so it wouldn't blow.
But there was a time when Slayer played and the lights blew out because it was so hot in there because no AC.
Right.
And
which one? The same.
That would be
same one with you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the guitar tech was like, close the doors because he didn't want the guitars to go out of tune. And it got so hot and the condensation, sweat, it started raining from the ceiling and it took out the lights. So it was pitch black and Slayer's playing, but that kind of fits with Slayer. So
did they finish?
Yeah, the show still went off. I mean,
with no lights?
I think they ended up getting the lights back going. I trying to remember if it was Todd. I can't remember who was doing the lights then. But no, they got them back on. But yeah, it was, their tour manager was a pain, so it was intense. Just put it that way.
Yeah. Well, once the building starts sweating to where it's raining,
I remember that a lot.
Yeah, it started getting nasty.
Super hot in there.
Yeah.
I mean, in the early days when the building was being done and crossed out, because the Union Street place, and when we were in downtown, that was a completely different monster. It reminded me of a mellower iguanas. It's kind of, I called it the Thunderdome because one wall was just a 30-foot tall brick, but then there was a balcony that kind of basically C-shape or a U-shape around, and you could be, if you're on stage, you have people up above you.
Okay, now which song are you talking about now?
That's Union Street.
So if you saw the Wicked Garden video with Stone Temple Pilots, that was shot at Union.
So that's the newer one.
That's the older. That's the original.
I
Downtown.
don't think I've ever been to the original one. I'm not sure if I have.
So that's another thing we got to bring up was the Iron Maiden show that never happened. That you guys were.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
With Blaze Bailey.
Yeah, I forgot about that until you sent me a flyer of an Iron. It was 1996 too.
Yeah, that would have been at Metro.
We were touring with Iron Maiden. I wonder why was that show canceled?
I don't know.
Because Blaze blew out his throat.
Oh, okay. There you go.
They canceled like 2 weeks of shows, and they did that one last show in LA.
So you,
two days in LA, 2 nights in LA.
So you guys did a couple shows, and then a couple shows were canceled, right?
Well, no, we did a whole tour.
The whole tour.
Yeah, but I guess when we got to the West Coast, those shows were canceled. I guess.
Yeah, I remember we played Seattle at the off ramp.
Corazon, off ramp. Yeah.
Oh, so you were doing Rocky. You were doing that tour with Fear Factory.
Yeah, and they tried to load in a whole truck. That place venue was small. They tried to load in 2 whole truckloads of stuff in there, and Raymond's drums the front of the drums were hanging over the edge of the stage. The keyboard player was at the soundboard.
Oh my god!
No way!
And Dino and Bert chose to be outside with Christian, and Dino was on this side, and they couldn't go, across each other.
No movement.
Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think I got the notice. I think the night before or the morning of, so we had to scramble to have someone. Actually, again, wasn't that the night? Were you there when that happened?
That was the one where you thought the gear got stolen.
Yeah, the gear was stolen
from Iron Maiden.
That night that they were supposed to play, or the night before, or whatever. I think that was the ICP show. But I was bummed because I'm a fan of Iron Maiden. As a matter of fact, I just got my little Super 7 figurine of Number of the Beast. There's this company that makes all these figurines. I got Napalm Death and a King Diamond one.
Yeah, the one it's here, Super 7.
Yeah. Those guys are rad. I'm waiting for the Dino one, and I'll get it. I mean, that's something to have a little figurine. I want a figurine made of me, but I want the beard to wrap around me, and
there you go,
so people can toss it like one of those parachute kids, those things. But so the Iron Maiden show. Scramble because I was looking forward to seeing it. I knew that Bruce wasn't going to be there, but of all the shows, and then I think Mario was the one that was in the parking lot trying to facilitate as people were still showing up because we had no notice.
Who's Mario?
He was one of our security guards. And, but yeah, we literally had no notice really to prepare for it being canceled. So were you guys in LA the night before, or do you?
No, it got canceled like the last week of the tour got canceled. And they just canceled all the shows, but then they kept the last show was going to be in LA. So they kept that show.
Oh, okay.
And so we played the two shows in LA.
Okay.
But they canceled the rest of the.
Where was those shows at
Palace.
in LA?
Palace.
Yeah.
2 nights at the Palace. 2 sold out nights.
Yeah, because I remember coming home to San Diego for a week or so, and then me and Gina went back up. She took me back up there. We did the 2 shows, and I came back home into the tour.
And that was on the flyer that I sent you. Was your name was spelled wrong for the band?
What was it? Fear of
Factory.
Was it Factory?
Something like
Was
that.
it G?
Yeah, I think it was.
Okay. Fear Factory. That was you guys that did it.
No, it wasn't us.
That was the Soma people.
It was a BSP show actually. I don't think it was a Soma show.
Right.
So,
Yeah, because
wasn't
Bill
us.
Silva would do, Harlan would come in. Lynn can make some money by running out shows like that. And then the stipulation was we would be there, but he
that
would
wasn't a
bring in.
Lynch show. That was the Golden Voice show, right?
No. The obsolete show was Golden Voice because Golden Voice bought Soma in
Later
98.
on.
So
because that was 96.
96,
the,
it
Iron
was
Maiden one.
It was a Bill Silva show. Bill Silva presents. Because we like Jeremy was saying, we used to rent out to like the Casbah and to Fine Line Entertainment.
Fine Line.
So different companies would come in and promote shows or present shows at the venue.
So they could do a bigger show rather than the bar or whatever. And, everyone made money, but that's working, as Rocky, from working there. You got soda tips and maybe some stripper dollars if you really worked hard. And Len had some ones on him. But
I got paid ones every night.
So how long did you work at Soma? Or when did you first start?
I started in 89 at Union Street, and I had a couple bands, and I told the story before, but it started off with the Ninth.
So Lynn didn't have any issues with you?
Oh no, he had all the issues with me.
But how did you stay hired?
He was booking
Because-
shows. He wasn't actually.
He was what?
He was
No,
just booking shows.
He was
right?
doing both. He was booking and running.
Yeah, I came in with the bands, and that's when he went from a dance club to
What kind of dance?
mostly gothic, and then so then I was having bands play down below in the basement, in the dungeon, and then just slowly started. I brought in like the Offspring and the Ill Repute on a tour.
Green Day.
Yeah, I found Green Day and brought them down, and they started playing. And I was
Sure you
just
did all those bands, Pennywise, Lagwagon,
Yep.
all that stuff, right?
All the punk stuff.
Yeah.
so
Oh, when I worked there, it was a ska. It was ska season. It was like just mostly ska bands.
Sadly.
Yeah. But every once in a while, the punk bands would come in.
But you gotta remember the ska bands actually treated us pretty good.
Yeah. But,
Yeah.
but I'm saying that like I wanted to be there with the punk bands, and when I was there, it was just mostly all ska. But when the punk bands would come in, it was nice. It was like, yeah, Pennywise coming in, like, yeah, shit like that. Yeah.
Well, by then, in the beginnings when I was doing it, I basically focused in on local stuff. So I was booking the metal bands. I was booking ska bands. Just as long as it was local, and kind of, I learned a lot from Len on how to book shows, and because I was green, I was 21 when I started booking there, and I left in '97, and I left because it became so corporate and it wasn't punk rock, and everyone was a rock star and had an attitude and treated me like shit, and I was tired
So
of
you guys
making.
were still kind of like local booking type vibe, right? Not necessarily so corporate where Golden Voice comes in and
Yeah, no, we were
it was moving that way.
Local, I mean, but a lot of the local bands got big.
no, I
Yeah.
know, I completely understand that.
Yeah.
You know,
But it was-
but LA was very much punk rock and all that stuff, and not as much as metal. Actually, a lot of metal bands didn't play here.
Well, the thing with LA was actually, I take it back. The thing with San Diego, the kids can go to the bars. Remember, it was 21 and up. So Soma was where the kids could go. So yeah, we did all these local shows, and then there was a lot of pretty big
we
bands.
played Canes a couple times.
Yeah, and again that was 21 and up as well.
I'm not talking about the chicken place where you chicken.
Played the first
No,
time
I remember Canes. I would go there to
bar
scout
restaurant.
bands. I would go there to see bands that would want to play a bar or play a different venue, didn't want to deal with Len, even though you had to deal with him with all the business part. You show up at the club, I'm there. I'm the one that signs you in. I do all that. I'm the first one there, last one that leaves.
production.
And
I didn't hear about Len until my brother Rocky was there, living there and working there.
yeah.
And then later on, he left, and then my sister had to deal with him on a different level.
Yeah, which we're gonna get into that.
Yeah, Gina.
But originally it was all about local, and it was about punk rock. But I would bring in the metal bands. I would bring in basically anyone. There's a band called Damnation, and local band. And then when I sang vocals with them, we were called Poor. But they would open up for like Entombed, Cannibal Corpse.
So you guys would have those bands at Soma.
Yeah, that was kind of a push and pull for me to get that to happen.
So you had to like really.
I had to kind of
work Len into it.
Yeah.
Well, we also had Danzig at the first.
Danzig was
first tour.
before my time, and that's when we would talk about the sound engineer Sammy. Sammy had done that tour. But back then, when at Union, it was a completely different animal. It was pretty locally based, and it was definitely more of a quote unquote punk rock club. Metro, it got cleaner, nice neighborhood.
The kids were younger at Metro.
Yeah, a lot younger.
We didn't have the skinhead problem like at Union.
Right. And it just things that really it kind of made it easier realistically. And it made it easier to bring in bigger acts to help develop local stuff. A lot of people, basically learned their chops there. Blink-182, Green Day, in a sense, was more Union, but, they were still hippies back then, and then they became themselves. Unwritten Law, Sprung Monkey, Bucko 9.
No Doubt.
No Doubt was another one that, really cut their teeth playing in there and got used to it because it was pretty consistent.
Well, plus we did the.
You guys probably had a built-in crowd too, right?
Somewhat.
Yeah.
We had
Same kids
all the
every
time.
I see 'em, yeah.
But think about also what we did back in the day too, the New Year's Eve show, Rocky, which you did, I think, at least
At the
one of
sports
those.
arena, yeah, I did 2 of them. I did the sports arena.
Those were huge shows.
Yeah, it was like 50 bands, 60 bands, 2 stages.
No, it wasn't
You
that
had to
many.
work all those bands.
No,
It was actually 3 stages. We did the bar too.
oh yeah. Well, I did the 2 big stages. They were across from each other.
When you say you did them, what did you do? Move all
was-
the gear?
I was like stage manager for both of us. I run over there and get one band set up, then run over the other side, get the other band set up. Well, really, it was 2
Sounds like
guys.
a headache.
There was 2 of us, but one guy didn't know what the fuck he was doing. So I ended up doing both stages. I would have it all. He was like, we were ready to go, and he wasn't even fucking. And we got done, and he wasn't even ready to go. So I started doing both stages.
Running back and forth.
Yeah, back and
What
forth.
was I
and
doing?
having them
That
all
was
ready.
my philosophy. If
what
I
year
do
was
it,
that?
it gets done.
Yeah.
What year was that?
I don't know.
That was
I know it was New Year's.
that was
That's all I know.
97 to 98.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember running back and forth. And like,
That was the year that I
I
left.
was like, dude, what are you
And that was we worked 24 hours
Yeah.
for that.
When you get there like at 9 in the morning.
I think you
and
might
we're
have
there
told me that. I think you might have mentioned that to me.
Yeah.
So actually being on tour with your brother was easier than working at Soma.
Well, being on tour with him helped me with a lot of shit. we
Break
were
them
doing,
in.
so,
Break them in.
yeah. It's like
The
getting
hard
shit-
way.
Yeah.
So
Rocky's first day, our drummer Raymond said, "Hey, break down the drum set." Rocky goes, "Okay, I'll break it down." And he took the whole thing apart, all the screws, everything. He took them all apart.
It's the first time I ever broke down.
Oh, no, I'm with you. I'm with you. I see more.
So he took all the skins off and everything.
Everything. He took all the skins off.
all
The ram.
No, I didn't do that.
He does all the screws. He put them all in little bags.
all the screws, all the exact size.
Everything
screws
was
were
in
all in
perfect-
one little bag.
was
and
all
then
perfect
everything
order,
else
though.
was it- And he was like, "What the fuck did you do?"
So that was the first day
The next day we had to put it all, back together. He goes, "When you take it apart, you just do this. Put it. Oh, okay." But like the first day was like, yeah.
So
I thought I was
Yeah.
doing,
that was the
you know
first
what?
day.
Trial by fire.
I thought I was doing a good job.
That was the first day
Yeah.
Rocky built the drum set.
That was the first day I tore it down. The next day was the first time I built.
Younger brother torturing older brother.
That's what happened. I didn't torture him. So we're just laughing. Like,
I mean, they thought it was
it wasn't
funny.
my drums. I didn't
They
care.
thought it was funny. I thought I was doing a good job.
Yeah.
That's where you really learn how the drum tech.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing that I had learned in the early days of, okay, so the sound guy's there, and if I help them get done earlier, then I get to get home before 5 o'clock in the morning. So going up and rapping my first chord. What the fuck are you doing? Don't wrap it around. It's not a fucking extension chord. And I'm like, whoa, all right. Well, show me how to wrap a chord. Now it's everything.
And
my
I'm sure it
extension
bothers you
chord.
when you see other people now doing it the wrong
Oh,
way.
yeah. Oh, I get pissed.
Yeah.
I get totally. I
So now
can
you're
look
that
at
dude.
it.
Now you're that dude.
Oh yeah, yeah, of course, because I get yelled at so many times for doing it. You know, and you can't kind of. I'm having my beer and they're not looking. Try to do it really quick and then get caught. It didn't work. You just learn how to do it right the first time, but it takes being yelled at. Nowadays, you know, everyone, if you yell at someone, you get canceled. Back then, you just yell, "What the fuck you doing?" And you learn quick, or you don't. Either you stay on the crew or.
Like the first night of the tour, I was at Fear Factory. We were opening up for Ozzy, and we were playing. The first night was in Vancouver. Was it Vancouver? It was in Canada. I'm not sure exactly the venue, but we played. They set theirs up. I set the drums up. We played, and so they go, okay. After the show, you could get all the shit off the stage. You know. So I went down there and I reached down to take the pedal up the first drum, and I looked up and the drum kit was gone. In the time it took me to unscrew that pedal,
Yeah.
they took it all and they go, and the one guy goes, "Hurry the fuck up!" It was the stage manager for Ozzy. He goes, "You fucking hurry the fuck up! You better learn how to do this shit." And he was also the drum tech. So the next day he told me, "Here's how you do it." You know, he yelled at me then.
Yeah.
But the next day he goes, "Here's how you do it.
Yeah.
You fucking just get everything ready for these guys to take." He goes, "You don't have nothing. Just stand there and tell them point. And he goes, "Then you take it out here and you take it apart." And then, like a couple of days later, I'm in the hallway taking shit apart, putting everything away, and Ozzy's assistant, he goes, "You better get this shit out of the way. Ozzy's gonna be through here in 5 minutes. Get this fucking shit out of the way." So then I had to learn how to tear down fast. So I get over there, start tearing down, and I tore it down. And like an hour later, Ozzy comes in. It's like, but the guy was just, what was it? His assistant, the person,
Scott?
Bob. It was Bob.
Yeah.
It was Bob.
Oh yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yeah,
Bob, yeah.
He was a cool guy. But that first day, he goes, "Fucking get this shit out. Ozzy's coming through." And he was just looking for somebody to yell at. But I fucking learned, like, you know, you get everything out of the way,
Yeah.
and get everything loaded up, get out of the way, and then you can fucking party. You know?
Yeah.
But remember, at Metro, we had to load in sound.
Yeah.
So we load in sound, built the sound, and then the band showed up, and then we had to load in the bands,
Yeah.
and then load out the bands, and then load out the sound. Every weekend we had to do
Because
that.
there was it's rented gear, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
We didn't have a built-in sound system until like when you guys played. Then
And that's
Rat-
what happened when you guys put it together.
Yeah.
It blows the power.
Well, they permanently put the sound in. They flew it. And, I mean, it was Dave Rad and another guy. They're a pretty big sound company. I
Yeah.
mean,
They were big in LA for the time.
they did Red Hot Chili Peppers
They
and
did a lot of bands.
Alanis Morissette and yeah, huge bands.
As far as I know, I believe they sold the company and then they went on tour with bands doing sound.
No, they kept company. It's actually
They did?
in Oxnard. Actually,
What's it called? Still?
Rat Sound.
Still?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. But
Same guys?
yeah. Well, I think Dave kind of stepped back. I think he retired because I mean Dave goes back to Black Flag, but during COVID they took a hit big time. Big time.
Yeah, the COVID kind of
I
screwed.
thought they sold the company.
No, not from because I know a guy that actually works there. Who knows? Maybe he did, and they just kept the name. So
I seen a sticker in a video. It might have even been because I was doing research on Fear Factory. I seen the rat sticker. I was
But
like,
you might
oh
be thinking
yeah.
there's a rat pedal as well.
There's
might have
also a
been.
band called Rat.
San
Yeah,
Diego.
Steven from
Two T's.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, that
Yeah,
I've
I
got.
don't know if you ever heard of them, but they're pretty
Unfortunately, I've been here my whole life, so
But
that's
I'm
why
saying
I
if you
know
saw-
how to speak a little bit of Spanish because
If
I've
you
lived
saw
here.
a sticker on a road case or something like that, it could be either
from the pedal, or
From the pedal,
it
or-
reminded me of their sticker, but it was a big one, so I was like, oh damn, they're really trying to promote themselves back then.
And when your wife calls you raton, that's not a term of endearment. No.
She calls me worse than that. But speaking of, so let's do a drop of some music right here. And what's your favorite song to play? Which I'm always curious about from musicians. Of
from which
everything
band?
that you do,
From which
everything
band?
you do, just like the song that.
Well, my favorite song from, let's say, Brujeria.
Yes.
Favorite song that I wrote was a song called Brujerismo. Not sure if you have that,
Let me look.
but that's my favorite one. That's tuned down to G. I play guitar and bass on that song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was killer.
Yeah, it's something too. Is I want to get into your setup, just out of morbid curiosity.
Morbid?
Yeah, just because I play a few different distortion pedals and do my setup
I use no
specifically.
pedals.
Oh, really?
I never did.
Wow. That's
Everything I had in the early days was all modded.
Wow.
Like all my Marshalls were modded,
Yeah.
with more distortion in it.
Yeah.
And then later on I got into the digital amplifiers, which is line 6. The digital profiles of an amp that were, in the system. So line 6, then I went to Axe Effects, and then now I've been using Kemper for the past 10 years.
Nice.
Look it up.
Okay, let's see.
Is it on Apple?
Apple Music? I don't know, but it's on iTunes.
That should be.
Okay, so we got.
What song was it, Dino?
Here we go.
Oh, you found it?
I think so.
Let's check this out real quick here.
I don't know, The main, that's working for me.
So there's a little bit of Brujeria, if I'm saying it
There
right.
you go. That's from our third album called Brujerismo as well.
Nice. And when did you put that one out?
2001?
Okay.
Yeah.
When I'm doing the dates in my head really quick, going 2001. Holy crap, it's been out a
And
while.
then they released the record probably a couple years ago.
Okay.
So it was a huge gap between 2001 and 2000.
22?
18 and yeah, maybe 2020. Yeah.
'Cause I think they're on tour right now with Goat Whore.
Yeah.
Do you pop in with them? No.
No.
Just done with it?
No. Now it's been like the singer's been really jealous of Asesino and just
Aye.
because it's just newer, fresher, but they're kind of coming back. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it's kind of coming back, and they're doing better now than what they were before.
Yeah.
But yeah,
If they asked you, would you do a tour with them, Asesino and Brujeria?
yes,
Okay.
because I know we'd kill them every night.
Yeah, you guys, that would be a fucking great tour.
We'd kill them every night.
You could
And
do
they know that.
You
that
could fucking do South America.
I've said it a million times,
and it's
but
never,
no, he doesn't want to do it. He actually asked me to come back to the band at one point, and I said, well, the only way that I'm going to come back is if you bring the members of Asesino with me to be in the band, because it would be
Right.
tight as hell, but no.
Yeah.
And you can kill two birds with one stone, but no, there's no way. He's extremely jealous of it, and it's just
that would be
a weird competitive thing that he has.
I
be
can relate.
That would be a big moneymaker, South America tour. Brujeria,
Lord.
Asesino.
Well, not even there, just anywhere.
When it comes to me, it just if you mention my name, just the jealousy it just shows up there.
Right.
If you hey, let's put Asesino and Brujeria together, it's like, what? Fuck you, and it's like
Red
it
in the
would
face.
just- yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What is it called? Blowing a fuse? But, I mean, I understand that because
he's
there's...
upset that Asesino exists.
I've seen that with a lot of bands.
There's a lot of people that believe that.
Because there was a point where
There's a lot of people that are upset with Asesino.
there was a point where Brujeria was like this and Asesino was like this.
Yeah.
Right now, it's Brujeria's a little higher. They're kind of coming back. You know, people are getting excited to see them again because it's been years.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So
It's when I was, again, doing my research, I'm like, wait a minute, that doesn't look like the same band. I mean, it's good. It was fun to watch,
yeah,
but...
it's the only band that I know that could switch members, unknown members that nobody knows, and still do decent.
Right. Unless you really look at dynamics and know...
Well,
for the nerds.
You can hear the difference in musicians when they play with different musicians. You can tell, okay, this doesn't sound as great. You know what I mean? Because there was a while where they just didn't sound that good live, right?
Going through the movements.
No, it's just because they switched members all the time.
Yeah.
Other members didn't play it as well as the other members. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, that's how I am with Venom. I mean, I love original Venom. But now Kronos has his... I just call them kids. And then I think Mantis and Abaddon...
sometimes the kids can do it well. That's
Oh,
the
yeah,
thing.
they do it.
But some of the stuff that those guys, that Brujeria would pick, some of the guys was just like, hey, can you play guitar? Yeah, come on. You
Yeah,
know,
like
you're
bringing in a
you're in the band, we're gonna
roadie.
do a tour. It's like, who is that guy? He was a mechanic just a few days ago. Now he's playing guitar.
Yeah.
And Brujeria, like,
He's
that's
the guy that
that's what
washed
I'm
my
saying.
windows
At
and-
least Venom would probably pick, musicians that were well enough to play the part. You know what I mean?
I do like what Kronos has done with Venom. I think there's Venom Inc. as well, but I'm Kronos. Since 1980 I've been running around screaming
Look,
Venom lyrics
Napalm Death. There's not one original member in the band.
yeah.
Yeah,
I loved it when
there's
Barney was singing.
Well, Barney's still singing.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
See, I don't even.
But he's not an
follow
original
him.
member. None of them are original members. What I'm saying is, like, you can get people to do it well But the thing is with Brujeria, they would just get unknowns, guys who, like I said, they were working in a restaurant yesterday, and now they're on stage playing guitar or trying to play guitar,
right,
or bass or whatever.
Well, there's a distinct difference. Me knowing your sound well enough, it makes talking with you now. It makes sense.
Yeah, there's people who understand that. I have a very distinct way of playing guitar, and a distinct way of playing those songs that maybe another guy can't do.
Right.
But
it's the nuances.
Yeah, but just a little rehearsal and they can get it to sound good.
Yeah. You can mix anything down to sound.
One of the things about
the live show.
One of the things that bothered me about being in Brujeria, that it was very punk rock. I hated it. I don't hate punk rock.
Right.
Just hate the way it was dealt with in that way.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
It was the attitude.
No rehearsals.
Yeah.
Just get up on stage and we'll just wing it.
Yep.
I was that guy. Like, okay, we're gonna do a show, so I'm gonna come in. Let's write a couple more songs. But again, being sponsored, drinking too fucking much. So I was very loose about everything. But now, I'm I need things, orchestrated and I need schedules and all that. So my whole philosophy, the quote unquote punk rock way of lifestyle. It's not working. It worked when I was a kid back, when being punk rock was something. Now it's just another corporate label. The professionalism in a band, if you're going to be going on tour, you have to have that.
Well, it's got to be organized. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of dynamics that are going on. Otherwise, bands wouldn't go bringing a crew.
You're always going to deal with that rebellious musician. You're always going to be with that drunk musician. You're always going to be with people who are going to be crying, who don't want to be there. So there's all these different attitudes you got to deal with, and then it's like, well, fuck, why am I out here too with these people? Because you just want to try to get yourself away from some of these negative people, and just you want to be with people who want to be out there and want to do it
and create.
Yes,
because you're not doing it as a job. You're doing it because it's who you are in a lifestyle.
And a lot of people I've done van tours where people are crying because they're in a van. I'm like, dude, it's not that hard.
Right.
It's really just a frame of mind. Guys who don't want to move gear, they want to go to the bar and party and try to pick up a chick. You know what I mean? Instead of fucking moving their drum set or their bass amp, whatever. Right. And I'd say, look, dude, if we organized, we can get this down in 15 minutes.
Right.
Right. And when it was on. We'd get done in 15 minutes. But then you got those guys that just like, I want to go get to a bar. I want to go talk to this chick and blah, blah. I see this chick from the stage. I want to go talk to her. And it just kind of like fucked up the whole system.
Right.
So Dino, do you see yourself as like the band mom? Because I know you.
No, band papa.
Band papa. Because I know you.
Not the band mom.
You didn't do drugs. So you're the guy that was pretty much trying to keep everybody together. And
yeah, I didn't drink as much. I didn't drink like to the point where people will be like, yo, he's a fucking crazy, violent alcoholic.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was violent without the alcohol.
Do you...
When it came to certain bands, yes. For sure.
So just kind of, not so much the manager, but the
just because of being in so many bands too, and then member changes.
Well, you learn what works and what doesn't work, and other guys haven't learned that yet. So you're trying to teach them, and a lot of times they don't want to be taught, or at the time they don't want to be taught. It's really kind of funny because I've had a lot of young musicians in some of the bands that I've been in, and I've tried to teach them the ropes, and they're very rebellious. Like, I don't need anybody to tell me what to do, or they look at you as a father figure that they don't want it.
Or you're trying to control me.
Yeah. And then they go to their next band. They go to their next band, and everything that I was telling them, they apply it to their next band.
And that's when it actually...
Then they become that guy.
Yeah.
That's why I left home when I was 16, because my parents were always trying to control me. Now I'm here, you're trying to do it.
Well, that's, that whole attitude and the egos get in the way of the music is what broke up a lot of bands. And I've seen it. It's still, there's certain people that I'm amazed that they made it that far with their music. I try not to put my own personal likes of their music.
There's been so many bands that have, like, I'm trying to remember which band, if they had like 18 different members There's so many bands like that nowadays. You know what I mean? I remember like when there's like the 4 core original members and the drummer leaves. Like, wow, okay, as long as the singer, the guitar player, and the bass player are still there, it's great.
Yeah.
And the bass player leaves. Well, as long as the guitar player and the bass player are still there, okay, cool. And then the guitar player leaves. Well, as long as the singer's there, that's cool. And the singer leaves. Like, well, they still. The next band comes up, the all new band members. Well, they still sound cool, so I like. Yeah, you just have to kind of go.
Seasonal excuses.
Yeah.
But then there's bands that when they do that, it's funny. I've noticed this lately. Is there's bands that'll bring in someone they'll try to do another tour, like guitarist leaves and then comes back and does a couple shows, and everyone like loses their mind. But then that's it, because those 2 shows or one big show was all that the whole band could handle being together in the same room, if they're even in the same room. Did you guys do like separate buses or van tours and
we
separate people?
We didn't have that kind of money.
So if someone had a problem, they just gotta
deal with it.
Yeah.
Front lounge, back lounge.
Yeah. Yeah, there was back in the early days, we went up to Gilman Street when I was really early doing Soma. And I was with Short Lived. A couple of the guys from the band Struggle. It was Justin, who is known from The Locusts and God, what are the other bands? But there was the Sober Van, and then there was the U-Haul. So it was me and the Short Lived. Most of the Short Lived guys were in the U-Haul. And it was oversized. It was not well thought out at all. So we were banging around in the back with the amps and drinking and eating Taco Bell and smoking cigarettes. And then there was a Sober Van with a couple of the guys from Struggle and Dennis, the guitarist. Financially, it was not thought of very well at all. It was fun. It was a great experience, you know. But there was definitely the divide of the drinkers and the non-drinkers, and because Struggle back then was straight edge. So even me showing up at one of those shows in my leather jacket, my mohawk, you know, around the straight edge kids back there in 1990 or so, you know, there was that divide.
We had that when we toured with Papa Roach, the first tour, where the straight edge guys would stay in one room and the drinker partiers guys would be in another room, because at that time we were only getting 2 rooms, so it was 4 guys in each room, which was pretty crazy.
I had a similar situation when I was with Hoobastank. Me and Brendan and Joel were the partiers, and the band were the non-partiers.
Yeah.
So they were scared of us. We'd be partying in the back, and they'd stay in the back, and we'd party in the front. And it was that whole different situation.
It's that weird dynamic, but if it works, it works. I mean, it doesn't have to be made a big deal of. If you don't drink and, you know, there's respect, then it's not a problem. But I can just imagine, because I've never toured really. I've done Little John's, but you've been all over. Where haven't you been? That's probably a better question.
Thailand, Indonesia. I think that's about it.
And to visit his child. He hasn't seen him in 16 years.
Who?
Your child.
My child.
You see, now he's not even admitting he doesn't have one.
Which one?
It's a joke.
What country is your favorite tour?
Australia.
Yeah.
Australia, yeah.
And for the people, the
people, fans,
venues.
the clean air, everything's.
His guitars.
It's like a clean California.
Oh, really?
That's where his guitars come from.
And everybody seems to be happy. G'day, mate. You know, it's like.
Yeah. It's a little bit different than fuck you. And you're like, whoa, hi, Mom.
Everybody's even more laid back than San Diego.
It's more expensive there, though. It's pretty expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. But they also, the cost of their minimum wage is like over $20. It's like $22, something like that.
Damn.
Yeah, we're barely reaching 15.
When I was there, it seemed like everybody was on welfare. They were just getting drunk and fighting.
There you go.
I was back in...
That sounds like the early Soma.
92.
You say it like it's a bad thing.
Yeah, what's your problem, Jerry?
Yeah.
So what size venues do you like to play?
Something with a good sound system.
That's what I was going to say. Well, that sounds good.
Any size with a good sound system.
Because you do festivals.
Yeah.
So you're in front of 30,000 people, and as long as you can hear on stage, I would imagine.
They could be fun, but we've dealt with all different kinds of festival type of things. Rain.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we've
Which is
dealt with
not
rain.
good.
What's that?
Which is not good.
Yeah, not good. Heat, extreme heat.
Yeah.
Where your amps shut down. Just
What about
completely
melting?
shut down. Yeah.
What
Not
about
melting,
light?
just shutting down because it's so hot.
Yeah.
What about lightning?
No lightning.
We had that on an off date in Wisconsin.
There might have been lightning. I don't remember it though, but
And the security guard and the sound guy got killed, and it hit the board and took out this white.
this at?
It was when I was on Ozfest 2000 with Slaves on Dope. We were doing an off date in Wisconsin somewhere, and it was a pretty big show. There was like 20 bands on that thing, and it was multiple stages. In the main stage, I think Taproot was just getting off, and boom, killed the guard, killed the sound guy. Crazy.
Speaking of Slaves on Dope, we flew into Canada to do a festival. It was a Zombie and System of a Down, a bunch of bands. Jack Black played, a bunch of bands played, and we landed, the night before our gig, and our gear didn't show up. So the guys at Slaves on Dope let us borrow a bunch of stuff.
Nice. Shout out to Jason and Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin, the guitar, and
Because Kevin's got his own recording studio.
yeah, so guitar and all that stuff. Yeah, shout out to Slaves on Dope.
There you go.
Yeah.
Same thing happened on Papa Roach. One night, Dave destroyed the drums, and the next day we were playing in Des Moines. And Paul
Slipknot.
from Slipknot, he let me a drum kit. Brand new drum kit, still in boxes.
But he didn't play drums.
I know, but he had a drum kit.
He had a
He had a
drum
fucking brand new Tama drum kit. It was Sunday and it was a holiday. And so every music store was shut down. Fucking drum set was, and somehow, I don't know how I got a hold of Paul. I may have called you and asked you if you knew anybody, and you told me, call Paul, maybe he knows somebody. And Paul goes, yeah, I got a drum set. And he brought it to the venue. He goes, here you go, still in boxes. And I put it all together. We used it. And I said, okay, where are you going to be after the show? And, to pick it up. He goes, you could keep it. Just keep it. Take it.
Damn.
I said, no. We can't do that. And so I left it there. And the guy from the venue got it back to Paul. But then the next day we played at a place, and I was able to get all the parts I needed. But yeah, Paul came through.
Welcome to
Your
Iowa.
Your boy Paul, he came through
Nice.
for us. Rest in peace.
All great.
Yeah. That is pretty fucking cool, though.
Yeah.
On the complete opposite, we had Morbid Angel play Union. Yeah, I believe it was Morbid Angel. And so
year?
oh god, this would be
90s?
yeah, early 90s.
Yes.
I know I could probably ask Grover Balmer, and he would
It's
know.
probably original. It's original guys, yeah.
Yeah, and one of the things on the rider specifically was black drums. And I think it probably had in caps, not a fucking white drum set. I'm not in Striper, but we got him a white drum set. I remember, again,
Just because it
no,
was
just because we couldn't get anything else.
Uh-huh.
And it was like one of those things where I remember going, these riders, these are, what the fuck,
What's a rider?
because I'm a
Is that-
punk
is that
rock
what you're
kid.
saying?
I
Yeah.
didn't know anything about it, you think of Van Halen complaining about M&Ms.
Yeah.
But realistically,
they did that, right?
To make sure that the people were paying attention.
Yeah.
that's one of
Exactly what
the, there's, over the years I learned more from like
Sorry for stepping on you.
lunatics and other people that would have distinct things because they have dietary
Yeah.
things that they want, vegans or whatever it is. But the drum set thing I thought was
Fart sound effects right there.
Are you sure that's a sound effect? No, wait. No, I'm still dry. That wasn't me. But no, that was one of the things that I
What
learned.
happened? You got the white drum set. What happened?
We got he played them, believe it or not. He was pissed, but that was one of the dynamics where I started to learn, these guys are coming in, they're expecting.
You can't give a satanic fucking death metal band a white drum set.
And you can't blame the dumb old punk rocker for it either because I didn't get them. But I think I was more pissed than anyone else because I'm looking up to, I respect, I'm a Venom fan. I've already mentioned that.
So what would you do if the original Venom came and then you gave him a white drum set and specifically asked for a black one,
He'd
I
spray
wouldn't do
paint
that.
it.
you would be like, you're fired.
I would go and get spray paint.
Yeah, he'd spray paint it.
I would yell at Len and say, "You and your fucking Porsche, get out of your fucking building."
But how many?
And I'd sit there and spray paint
Really?
it for Abaddon.
Really, if you think about it, how many metal bands ask for a backline?
Well, that was the thing. It
usually
never been
reggae.
asked before.
What's that?
It's usually reggae
Yeah.
when you have to provide
maybe,
the backline.
maybe it was a fly-in show.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it was they were flying in that day or something, so they were ahead of their equipment. Something, but it was just the drums. So, these are little things that I
Well,
learned.
it's easy if you ask for a Marshall or a Mesa Boogie.
Yeah.
Those are easy.
But he wanted specific, a certain piece, double kick, black, not fucking white drums. I think it did say that part about not being white drums.
So Lynn actually let Morbid Angel play there?
Yeah.
They weren't too satanic for him?
We had Glenn from Dayside was out front yelling at Bible thumpers at one show that we had at the club there. And he came in and he was like, "Oh, I fucking love this,
What did
man."
Lynn say?
Lynn was a little wound up,
It
a
was
little
his
bit tight.
buddies outside, right?
Pretty
Those are
much,
probably his
kind of,
people.
yeah. He would blame me
Picketing
for
his own
that.
show.
He blamed me for, Flipper, the singer didn't want to come on and play. Or was it the bass? Someone didn't want to play. It was a bass player. Fucking I remember. Again at Union. And Lem was yelling at me. He's like, "Well, he won't go on. He wants drugs. So go get him some drugs." And I told Len, I go, "I'm not a fucking drug dealer. Just because I'm a punk rocker." "Well, they're a punk band and you should go." And they were trying to talk me into going up there and playing. I'm like, I know who Flipper is. I know. What the fuck?
Oh, Flipper?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Those guys
So-
are all heroin addicts.
Yeah. And he just wanted some dope to get up on stage because,
He was
they
nervous.
were dry. But,
Those guys
Yeah,
are
there's-
shooting up on stage.
well, Charlie Harper, from the UK Subs had a heart attack on stage twice. That's
On the same night or two different?
two different.
Oh.
And he was one that I learned that if he can play after having a heart attack, then because it was on stage, I guess, at both of them.
So, Rocky, what was one of your memorable shows you worked at Metro? Was it the Cramps?
The Cramps. I don't remember that story as much as well as you do. But I liked the band. The bands were good. That was cool. But I
They were
guess
totally cool people. It was
Yeah.
something with you and the tour manager.
the tour manager. I don't know what he wanted, but he was yelling at me for some reason.
I thought you guys, from what I remember, you guys were on the stage on one of the speakers,
Yeah.
kind of pushing each other or something up there.
I don't remember that situation, but I do remember I was on the stage when they were doing sound check, and he didn't like that because I was just kind of waiting for them to get done so we can load the next band in. But I was in the corner, on the corner, out of the way, and that's where he was just like, "Why the fuck are you up here?" Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, "Dude, I'm doing my job. I'm not
I'm
a
the
fucking
stage
fan."
manager.
I'm the stage
motherfucker.
manager. I'm doing my job. I'm not up here. I'm not a fan. I'm not up here. And then he pushed me, and I pushed him back. But like at the end of the night, he was like, "Hey man, I'm sorry." He told me, "Hey man, I'm sorry about that. All you just I said, "Dude, happens all the time. It's no big deal."
Did it happen all the time?
It happened with
There
the
was
guy.
one time we were on tour. We were in France. There was a guy in front of me. The big tall guy flipped me off like "fuck you," doing all the typical France things where he's flicking his
Big
hand.
guy. The guy was like an easy 7'5".
Oh,
that
wow.
guy was huge,
Yeah.
and he wasn't just tall. He was fucking like built. He looked like a fucking tank.
Hold on. So
Yeah.
the guy was like, the typical gestures, because obviously people are listening.
Yeah,
where they flick
under
their
the
hand
chin.
underneath their chin.
Yeah.
Like, "Oh, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you." And I was like, "What the fuck's up with this guy?" So towards the end of the show, Rocky comes out there, confronts him, hits him with a flashlight. The guy did not even move.
What happened
The
was
guy did not even move.
What happened was I was starting to load shit out, and Dino goes, "Come with me." And so I started following him, and we catch the guy at the merch booth. And Dino's like, "Motherfucker," like trying to push the guy. The guy wasn't even moving.
But
He was
he-
pushing
he-
him. The guy was just standing there like, what? And then so I just pulled Dino out of the way like that, and I had a big old mag light.
Yeah.
Bam! Struck him in the side of the head, and he just looked at me. I'm like, "Oh shit."
Then he's like,
Wasn't
"Going to
until
buy
our
some."
soundman, Aaron.
Yeah. And then he just looked at me, and he took off running. And then that's when our sound guy was a big guy. Aaron Dilks, rest in peace. He comes running by, and Aaron was a big guy just like him, and he just with one hand pushed Aaron out of the way and knocked him on the ground. and we kind of chased him out the venue, and all the kids were chasing him. And fucking the guy was just gone. He was long gone.
But the thing is, when you went to hit him in the
like
head,
Bigfoot running.
when you went to hit him in the head, he was actually buying Fear Factory merch.
Yeah, he probably was.
I don't know about that.
You just lost a customer.
But I hit him fucking hard. I hit him with that as hard as I could.
Yeah.
With that, and he just looked at me like.
Those are the days when we carried those big ass mag lights.
Oh
And the
yeah.
same thing happened to me in Italy again. On a later tour. Some guy was flicked the cigarette and be like, fuck you. You know, he's doing the Italian gestures. Just fuck you, doing the gesture. I'm like, what the fuck did I do to this guy, right? What the fuck? And so I had a guy named Dougie. He was our band assistant, whatever.
Okay.
Oh, what?
Which Dougie?
Dougie McKay. Yeah. So he came out.
Shout out to Dougie.
He came out and he's got like sausage fingers. So when he makes a fist, it looks like a brick
Yeah.
because it's so fat for some reason. So he just socks the guy and floors him. And I'm just playing guitar going, just laughing because he just socked the guy. The guy got back up, saying, fuck you. Still.
So we never,
I'm like, holy shit.
we never had
So at
those.
the end of the show, hold on. At the end of the show, they're breaking down. I'm backstage. They're breaking down. And Dougie's like, Dino, come back out here. I'm like, check this out. And the guy was still out there talking shit.
Nobody's
No
out there.
way.
Still out there talking shit. And Dougie's like, haha, I hit you. You know.
So we didn't have that kind of problem at Soma because we had ground control. They were all Samoans, and
Yeah.
nobody fucked with them.
Although I've seen people take the Samoans down though.
Not at our venue. They didn't.
They were ex football players. Samoan.
We had some football players that
Yeah.
were security guards at Soma as well.
I have a guy named Avram. I'm not sure if you ever met him. He put two of those big Samoan guys in a headlock, like that. Two of them.
Because a lot
Damn.
of
Right
our,
in front of me, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
a lot of the Samoan guys that actually worked there actually played football as well.
Yeah,
they were big motherfuckers. Big motherfuckers. They were like 5X, 6X.
Yeah, well, these are the kind of guys. They may be big, but at the same time, they don't want any problems. They don't want to get hit.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't want to get hit or nothing like that.
Because they have a target on them already being that big. Except when you're
most of
playing
them
and
are
they're
just-
So
sitting
my
there.
buddy was that big and put them both in a head, two of them in a headlock.
Where was that at?
Soma.
Really? What's? Oh, you're
Serious.
talking about the new Soma.
Yes.
Yeah, that wasn't the old Soma. Those are new guys over there.
Yeah, unfortunately.
All our guys passed away.
Yeah.
So rest in peace.
They were all nice guys too,
Yep.
just like
Yeah.
big peaceful guys. So that's why they don't want.
Yeah, they were probably like wondering what the fuck Lynn's starting shit for.
Mm.
But I know why Lynn was starting shit. Because my sister was there. And because another woman that she worked with was a promoter from a different venue. And they would be
Alice.
competitive. I don't want to have to drop names. Come on.
Oh, I'll drop names. What's
I
he
know
going
you will.
to do? Because he'll just
Anyways,
threaten to sue me again, and I'll just tell him to fuck off again, and then I'll
And
tell
so
him
they
I'm going
were,
I'm going to start a podcast about
they
it.
were so he was just the minute we walked in there was a target on us.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
that was
Because
after
our
I
family
left there.
fucking Rocky already laid down.
I had already left.
Yeah.
So Lynn, fuck that family. Fuck all them. Rocky and all of them. It's like,
So the minute and then Gina had to deal with them because she was working in a different venue and there was a lot of competition. I guess he would always call the fire marshals on him and try to get her show shut down and
brick
stuff
by
like
brick. Shout
that.
out
It
to
wasn't brick by brick. It was called the scene.
Oh.
The scene.
Shout out to the scene.
So he
All right.
so he was always in competition in that way, jealous,
Yeah.
whatever it was, right?
Yeah.
And then Asesino played there with Danzig. The minute we walked in, we had a fucking target on our head. The minute they found out I was a Cazares, forget it.
Playing at Soma?
Soma
Soma
SD.
The Soma.
Soma
Oh,
SD,
okay.
The new Soma. And I was already gone. I was
Okay, we're fast forward until like 2005.
Yeah, that's probably.
It was like 2004.
Five.
No, was it 5?
Yeah, because
Okay.
I wasn't there. I quit in 04. And actually, Fear Factory played, I believe, 04. Fear Factory played with Damage Plan, but that's when you weren't in Fear Factory.
Why you got to bring it up?
Well, because that was
So anyways,
That wasn't Fear
let's go back to
Factory.
let's go back to the Danzig show with Asesino. So Zane was 4 or 5, whatever it was. We were in a dressing room full of graffiti, and Zane was drawing.
Yeah, we gave him a
Here,
card
you
because
got to get a mic. You can't.
they can't hear me.
We can
No.
kind of hear you.
Yeah, so we gave
You got to
Zane
talk
a
in
mic.
the mic.
There you go.
We
You're good.
gave Zane a mic because a Sharpie.
I can hear good.
We gave Zane a Sharpie because like the whole room was like everybody who had been in there must have graffitied. So we
Right.
said, "Here, Zane, go ahead." Gave it to him. He wrote, and then Lynn came in with his posse. Get the hell out of here! Get the hell
Oh,
out
but
of
before
here!
that, hold on.
Before that, he was already on us.
Just before that, it was a shithole dressing room, right? And it was the one all the way to the back to the top. And
The small one.
no, it was a big one.
What was the big one? They had you guys in the big one? Because Danzig was in his...
Not Danzig was in a big one, but we were in the further because
It
the
was in
one
the corner,
it was like
wasn't it?
Danzig's in is the one where you right when you come to the back door you go right up.
Yeah, that's the big one.
Yeah.
So you
There's
guys were in the
one
small one.
further down.
Yeah.
I don't know if
It was small. It
Yeah.
was small. It was
okay,
kinda
whatever.
small.
Anyway, so
Kind of close
there
to
was
the
no
bathroom
chairs in
up
there.
Oh yeah, I
not a-
remember the chair thing.
There was no chairs in there. So we went and found other small dressing rooms with chair. So we brought a chair over, and Lynn came over and fucking took the chair.
What?
Can't put this chair in here. Like, so where are we gonna sit? What the fuck? And then Zane was right on the wall that we all had to leave.
Yeah.
No.
Because he brought him and his posse. He was in the back, and he had his security saying, you guys got to go. You guys got to get the hell out. So we laughed, and we were at the entrance, and I just told him off. But all his security guys were just like, go at him. I don't think anybody liked him.
You go, girl.
Yeah, you go, girl. And nobody liked him. you
Yeah,
know?
but
Gina kicks his ass.
also before that, at the merch table, we had upside down crosses on our shirts, and Lynn's new girlfriend was talking shit.
His wife.
His wife now, right?
Oh.
But I
That
think
was
they
his
were-
wife.
Talking shit about the
they
upside
were
down
married then?
crosses.
Okay.
What?
Okay,
See,
it's
I had
'cause of
nothing to
us.
do with
It's
it,
'cause of
but
us. Not because of anybody else.
They're
So
It was because of
hold on.
Alice.
Then, as the crowd was leaving, there was a big crowd to get out. It's kind of a thin hallway to get out of the
Yeah.
place
Yeah.
where your merch is. It's kind of a thin area, so it's just packed with people, and people couldn't reach our merch table. So my wife at the time was standing on the table, throwing merch to people. People were handing money, throwing merch, money, blah blah.
yeah.
That girl, Lynn's wife, said, "What the fuck? Get off the fucking table."
Whoa.
She's like, my wife at the time was like, "What the fuck's your problem?" Like,
Yeah.
so she was pissed. But there happened to be a ladder right there. So she got the ladder, put it on, she stood on the ladder. Then Lynn's wife took the ladder away from her.
What the?
It was us. We had a mark on us from the beginning. Right?
That's because out of all the years,
Then
from 89 to
Lynn came and said, "Get your merch and get the fuck out of here."
no way.
Yep. So then that's when the two Samoan guys were right there.
Oh, okay.
And so our friend that was with us, Avram, grabbed those two guys and put them in a headlock and saying they're going to move their merch when they're ready.
Yeah.
Right. So we took our time, we took our time moving the merch.
They
But at the
also
same
had
time-
it on Zane.
What?
He wrote on the wall. It was like every little thing we did was
And then we're moving the merch and we're going out the back. And that's when I hear Alice and Gina going off on Lynn and Lynn trying to, say stuff back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it was on you guys. I think it was on Alice because there's a lot of problems with
But
it.
we were all together.
Yeah,
so-
that's why. That was the focus. Was it
That's-
became on Alice because
Well, then
Lynn
throw,
hated
then
her.
throw Alice out.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, I wasn't there. I would have resolved the
So then-
situation.
So
but-
then that was 2005. And then 2010, I'm back in Fear Factory. And our booking agent is trying to book a show at the Soma Club for Fear Factory, headlining. And my booking agent calls me like later that day. He goes, "Yo, what happened? What's the problem with you and the guys at Soma?"
Yeah.
I'm like, I just start laughing. And then we played the House of Blues.
Yeah. Which
We
was
went-
way better.
We went to the House of Blues
Yeah.
instead of Soma. But Lynn didn't want us to book the band. And I'm sorry, Lynn didn't want us to have a
Play
show
there,
there.
yeah.
And he was talking shit to our booking agency.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Crazy.
he lost out.
Yep. His loss.
He's a moron. I'll straight.
Yeah, but
That's
hold on.
just
Hold on, but we all got thrown out, right?
Yeah.
And then one of our an associate that we know went back to the venue, and the lighting guy, well, I don't want to name any names, the lighting guy told one of our guys, that's Lynn's car over there. So he went to the car and sliced all 4 tires.
Oh, damn.
But it wasn't Lynn's car.
Oh.
Unfortunately, it was Big Mike's car.
Oh, no way.
Yep.
Sorry, Big Mike. Sorry.
Shout out to Mike. and his new tires.
Yeah. No, Mike stuck it out.
What was the confusion?
longer.
Was it the same color car? Because I know
They were
had a nice car.
they were ex police cars,
Cop
weren't they?
cars,
They were
yeah.
ex cop cars.
Yeah.
So he had an ex-cop car too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I had an ex-cop car. What the?
Yeah, Lynn had it was the LTD or whatever they
Yeah.
were, the Crown Vic.
Yeah,
whatever,
I had a Crown Vic for a while.
Lynn
Not
had
not
one
at
and,
that point.
Mike had one. The same. They look exactly alike.
Oh,
They
that's
probably bought them at the
bizarre.
both the same
Well,
auction.
sorry, Mike, but still, that was a bad move.
Yeah, well, it just. I mean, that's realistically a lot of the things that.
car.
Mike,
Yeah.
call Dino. He'll send you some free T-shirts.
He didn't say anything to me though. Mike didn't.
That's
Is he
crazy.
still working there?
No.
Oh no! I see him every now and again. He's got his own gig going on. He's riding street bikes now, and he's hanging in there. And the bike shop is like down the street from me. So whenever my wife and I are skating down by her work, sometimes I'll run into him. But no, he basically did the same thing as me. He just left Soma and just went on and tried to have a life.
Yeah.
But he
Tell
had
him, if you ever see him, say you had us on the show, and we apologize.
I
Even
will,
though I wasn't
actually.
the one that did it.
right.
Just sorry for the confusion.
Yeah. No, he would probably, knowing Mike now, he'd probably get a kick out of be like, all right.
What kind of? What
No, it could have been really bad because he had to buy all 4 tires, bro. And they did them on the side,
Yeah.
so you can't you can't patch them up.
Yeah. It's sidewall
Yeah.
damage. My neighbors have done that to my cars. That's why I don't park in front of my house. But, that's
What
another
kind of street
story.
bikes? Like
He's,
bicycles or
no, street bike, like, what's down there? Husqvarna.
On-road bikes, you mean on-road motorcycles?
Yeah. Yeah, the fancy. I still ride a skateboard, so I don't ride. My dad rode bikes when I was really, really young, but that's about my knowledge. I can appreciate them, but
Is the new Soma still open?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Still running to this day.
Still run by Lynn?
Run by Live Nation, actually.
Lynn doesn't just gets a paycheck from it.
I think so. Yep. It's totally corporate. It's nothing what it used to be. So they're not doing local bands or any of that stuff.
I'm not sure where I'm playing here with Static X. Do you know, Jim?
It's not
House of
there.
Blues.
Is it House of
I think so, yeah.
I think it's out in. Isn't that in Chula Vista? No.
What place in Chula Vista?
That would be the arena down there.
No, we're not playing with Static X. We're not playing arena.
He's playing there on.
That's with Rob Zombie, though.
Yeah.
It's different.
Better than Rob Zombie though.
So yeah, did you want to bring that up next year?
What? Oh, Fear Factory, Static X, Mushroom Head,
dope.
Dope, and Twisted. Yeah, it's basically a 90s throwback tour.
Oh, that's cool.
Were they playing that, Dino?
Shout out to the 90s. You guys are playing at the House of Blues.
There you go, House of Blues.
And when was the last
What's the
time?
date?
The last date is April 15th at Belasco Theater.
No, what's the San Diego?
April 14th.
April 14th, House of Blues,
When was the last time Fear Factory played?
11 months.
2017.
2017. Damn.
What's such a long hiatus?
Twisted and
Just other bands? Or?
Lawsuits, coronavirus, and then now
Society 1, Twisted, and Savick Black, whatever.
there you go. Basically, lawsuits, then the coronavirus, and
Yeah.
then we lost our singer, and then now we're going to come back not till next year. So all this year is just focusing on myself,
Mm-hmm.
touring with some killer badass dudes, and then back to Fear Factory.
Nice. You have an album that you're starting to write on
We
right
have
now?
a record that came out a year ago called Aggression Continuum, and we're about to drop some remixes
Okay.
called Recoded, and it's basically the Aggression Continuum album remix with different DJs.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and so that'll be out in a couple of months. I haven't got the date yet, but it's going to be a couple of months. And then we got a couple of re-releases of a couple of our other records, The Industrialist and Mechanize. And then after that, just new Fear Factory stuff early next year.
Cool.
And boom.
Cool. Are you guys doing vinyl as well as?
Yeah, of course. Everybody does vinyl now. That's the problem, is that everybody's doing vinyl. And the problem is that a lot of these big corporate labels are fucking it up for all our smaller people, smaller bands like, Madonna and Adele. They want to make a shit ton of vinyl and they're going to take priority.
Yeah, and there's not many
like bands like us. We got to wait another fucking 6 months.
Yeah, because there's not many. What is it? 3 places that are pressing vinyl right now? Something ridiculous like that? Because everyone...
Less than a handful, yeah. But Metallica were smart. They went and bought the machines, and they do their own vinyl.
That's the way to do it.
Wasn't there a vinyl shortage too? Was that some material issues as well?
Probably because of coronavirus, everything's been delayed.
Yeah.
From everything from the smallest screw to
Toilet paper.
Chips, baby formula.
shout out to toilet paper.
Sanity.
Shout out to
People's minds.
Shout out to the new bidet.
what's the thing you just put on my back?
Bidet, just said it.
The
bidet. It's a bidet.
Shout out to the new bidet.
You just
You
put
didn't
one
hear
in
it?
in my bathroom. It's nice.
Yeah, I was looking at that. I'm actually... Shout out to bidets.
Yeah.
To bidets.
Yeah, I'm a vinyl guy. I prefer vinyl. I jumped into the whole CD thing when all that was going on, but I'd like to listen to vinyl. But now that it's come back again, it's turned it all upside down. And I kept hearing about people not being able to get pressed, and they have to wait behind the people that...
Well, the wait is now up to a year.
It's crazy. And then the price is pretty hefty as well for vinyl.
Yeah, you get $50 a vinyl.
Jesus.
Average price.
I've noticed that
And
just
higher.
for...
When we used to get them back in the 80s for 12 for a penny.
$10, yeah.
Columbia Records.
Yeah, I still have some price tags on some vinyl from the 80s. $7.99, $8.99. Trip West and Blue Meanie, local places around here. And
I still like the box, with the CDs when it came with the box, the long box. They call it. I still like that. You know why they did that, right?
No.
It's because vinyl, when they used to put vinyl, where the stores had the
deep
vinyl thing, they had to make sure that the CD was that high so you could see it.
Yep.
That makes sense, yeah.
And then later on, they came out with the plastic.
Yep.
They started to save money on all the cardboard that they used to make the CDs. But I like those cardboards because that was big. Is that mine?
I said, you
Just
want
kidding.
one? Not ready?
Yeah, actually,
Ready for food.
those CD, you got the little... And for me, my eyes aren't the greatest, so I like the vinyl because it had the artwork, had things to look at, so I could sit there and look at all the artwork. Then you get the CDs, and I got to put on reading glasses, and they're just so small, and I'd always screw them up. I mean, I'm not taking a CD and throwing it in my car and then pulling it out and throwing it in the back seat. I respected my vinyl more. So having vinyl come back, to me, the chips, the chirps, you can read the art, it's actual artwork on it, makes it worth it. I love that part. And just love the fact
all the
that
words to all the songs.
Yeah, and
Liners.
still
Most
wearing
of
my
them,
my
Was
reading
bigger,
glasses.
The lettering, the text was bigger.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's one of the things with these new fandangled phones. I got to find a font where I can actually see it and not have to put on my reading glasses. So it makes it kind of hard,
Well,
to
hear about
drive
those
and
drops
tweet.
Now you hear about those drops you can put in your eyes, right?
Oh, I heard about that.
There you go. You could see, you could read. It's like somehow, I don't know what it does.
For how long?
For 24 hours.
And then your eyes fall out.
Then you can't see shit.
They just pop right out. No, but I
It's
have
only for reading.
I have my reading glasses, and I got some in the truck. I got them in the bathroom because that's where I read all my magazines. Thrasher magazine.
In the bathroom?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Not the Playboys and the Hustlers. And
No, I have
too.
Model Train Railroad magazine, Thrasher magazine.
That's when you know you're old.
I thought
know.
Facebook
What, a
was
model
the.
trailer?
No, when you're not reading Playboys. You're not reading
Well,
Hustler.
Playboy doesn't exist anymore.
Or
I think
Hustler,
it's
or
I know,
gone.
but you know what we're saying. Dirty magazines.
But now it's Facebook.
Yeah, now with
Yeah,
your phone,
That's,
you
the toilet book now. Is your phone?
Yeah, that's
Just social media in general.
Yes.
yeah, that's definitely the urinal. All social media. I trying to work it like on for the podcast. I'm on Twitter, and I'm learning things. I'm doing it the way that I think it's supposed to be done. Trying to talk with people, expand the audience.
Don't.
I do it limited, mainly because I don't want to get into that whole pissing match and the social media I don't want to be canceled.
Yeah, well, I noticed that if somebody talks shit, I just ignore it and then it doesn't get any attention.
Exactly.
But when I reply to it, then it gets attention.
You acknowledge it and it feeds it.
You've even deleted posts I've seen where people start fighting with you on Facebook.
Probably.
Yeah, just to end it, be done with it.
Yeah.
Delete the post.
Yeah, that's why I try not to put anything too personal. My wife and I joked about putting our pug, giving him an Instagram page.
He'll probably be more popular than you.
Oh, yeah. No, he totally will. Are you kidding me?
He already is.
is.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just that old guy until I say something funny, and then, people talk about it for 5 minutes.
We're still waiting for that.
See, we need to edit that part out.
No.
Leave that part in. Leave it in.
See, that's the only funny
No,
thing.
we need to make
That's
that.
the only funny thing you said was you need to edit that out.
I think I'm going to make the soundbite and use it to promote this one. But no, speaking of, let's listen to some more music. We got to throw in one more.
Some Asesino.
Yeah. What song do you want to hear?
No.
That's the
Let's
song
hear-
that used to get me in
Let's
trouble
hear-
at
let's hear a song that's dedicated to Tijuana. It's called Adelitas.
If I can find it.
No, I would play
Put up
Brujeria
Asesino
when I was
Cristo Satanico
managing a
on the record.
7-Eleven.
Jerry, if you would have read the writer, you would have seen that. You would have known that Dino was going to ask for that song.
He didn't give me a writer.
And a black drum set.
He's drinking the writer already.
Are you guys on?
He drank the writer.
He is the writer.
Yeah, I bought some beer for you and Rocky, and then he drinks it all.
Rocky don't drink.
I know, but I'm just saying it's just a funny joke.
That you
Okay,
know
here we
of.
go. Asesino.
Rocky don't drink, like Charlie don't surf. What?
So this song's about Tijuana, and that's where you guys are going to be playing on June 25th,
24th.
24th.
Yeah.
And Zane's birthday is
No,
on.
First of all, you spelled it wrong.
Dino, do you need glasses yet?
So the day before. Yeah, he needs
Yeah, Dino's the only one that's not wearing glasses.
But he needs them.
Are you squinting
I can
these
use
days?
some of my older glasses. Just I got
Put
the.
his letters like really big like this on his phone.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember seeing that.
I'll send you some of my older glasses with the
Yeah,
older
I'll leave-
prescriptions.
I'm playing it already.
Oh well, let me kick it on here.
Hey, how much, dude?
All right. How do we go back?
Can't ever go back.
Ready?
Fucking, we'll do it live.
Pussy, caliente. Aquí tenemos, pásale, gringo. Hey, gringo. Hey, how much, dude? $100 for you, gringo. Ya llegó fin de semana.
curva de las escaleras, lista está, la puta me lleva otro 10 para el cuartito, empieza chupando mi pito, suavecito, su hoyito, se lo meto en el hueco. La chingo y pronto me vengo el sufundillo. La chingo y pronto me vengo el sufundillo. Regreso, me costeado, todavía lo tengo parado. 2 tragos más que me sirven, listo pa' la puta que sigue. Vamos a Adelitas, voy a coger a tu abuelita. Vamos a Adelitas.
All right, we're back. That was
Now, I've never heard them before. If Dino was here, then we could talk shit about him in the band. The fucking vocals are too angry. The guitar is too loud. No, as I said before, huge fan of Brujeria. I am totally digging this. So this is going to be something I'm going to be looking up.
Well,
Asesino stuff.
June 24th in Tijuana, they're going to be playing. So
Yeah.
I'll be going.
With me?
My first time to see them. I haven't seen them live.
You've
yet.
never seen Asesino?
I've never seen us.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah, and the funny thing is that we were talking about earlier with your son and my stepdaughter's birthday is the next day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're both
we're
turning
gonna
22.
celebrate on Friday over there in Tijuana eating tacos and drinking Coronas. Can't beat that, right?
Yeah, especially now that 22.
Get ready to
Well,
shut it
Is-
down.
is he
my
much of a
son doesn't
drinker?
drink, but he could be my driver because I do.
Yeah. No, our daughter is kind of the same way. She just she'll drink a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
The mota is a little bit in there, but
Absolutely.
I'm glad that she's not how I was at her age, because then when I was 22, I was heavily into doing soma
Crazy stuff.
and drinking a lot.
Right.
So that was my thing at the end of the show.
burritos and beer.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm happy my son doesn't drink.
What was
Yeah.
that Mexican place right across from Soma? There was like,
See, we were just talking about that
Was it
earlier.
El Cotilla?
yeah, they made the
No,
best.
it wasn't.
It was the one that was across the
Yeah.
street. In the little.
I think it changed like 2 different times.
Yeah.
They had the best carne asada quesadillas.
I think at one time.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was one time. I think it was Nico's, and then they moved.
Yeah,
over
yeah,
by
yeah.
Brick.
We were just talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
They made the best California burritos, but back in the day, the California burritos were cheese, sour cream, and papas. Now it's carne asada in there, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's yeah.
And then there was the Rice King was over there.
Yeah.
I used to the chicken teriyaki bowl. Oh my lord! Actually, that was.
I used to get the garlic shrimp. It was really good.
Oh yeah.
Now we're
Now thinking
talking
about
food.
Those teriyaki bowls were good. I remember those.
Yeah.
Well, it was nice talking a little bit with the family and
hell yeah, all the
everybody,
siblings.
and yeah.
Yeah.
The 4 of the siblings:
Yep.
Jerry Brooks Cazares,
Yeah.
JBC.
JBC in the house.
The-
And I'm just a token widow.
And we got Gina,
I'm used
Rocky,
to
Dino,
know.
and Jerm.
and Jerm.
Yeah.
We
All right.
we
Well,
appreciate you guys
thank you.
doing this podcast with us, and
Yeah.
Now it's time to eat some carne asada and
now
stuff.
it's time to grub. Hell yeah!
And I appreciate the hospitality from the whole family. This is the
Oh, you
first
drank the
remote.
writer. What are you talking about?
What's that?
You drank the writer.
Well, that's see. I know the trick is if you're going to come in and drink everyone's beer, then you try to bring an equivalent to how much you'll drink. But this is probably, and Jerry will attest to this, the first time that I've not come in with
Wasted.
that and drank an equivalent of what got me wasted to begin with. I've tried to hone it down so I'm in the moment to the podcast instead of in the moment of forgetting where I was and trying to find more beer.
Well, thank you for having me on this
I appreciate it.
Throwback Soma podcast.
Yeah.
What do you guys call it? I forgot.
Union
and Metro
podcast.
Union and Metro
It
podcast.
rolls
Oh, okay.
off the tongue. But, of course, we got to have the Soma Live in there, but so that Len doesn't sue us or threaten to sue us again, which would be good
What?
for publicity. Yeah, there's already.
He's already threatened to sue you
Through a third party has threatened,
because you guys are calling it Soma Live podcast.
because I'm not supposed to tell my story, even though I was going to write a book and tell all the shit, but this is a lot more fun. And it's not about
You
bashing
haven't
them.
said much shit. We've actually said
It's
all
not
the shit.
about bashing. It's about just hanging out. I wanted here because Brujeria, again. I'm doing the fan worship. And realistically, just, I've known about you and known about Fear Factory for years. And Gina and Rocky and just trying to put, faces to... I mean, we're all part of this town.
Correct.
I've been here for a long time, and I like hearing the
So
stories.
he's trying to prevent you from speaking about Soma.
He's probably afraid you're going to tell some stories he don't want you to tell.
Well, those will eventually come out eventually, But
I think he
it's
doesn't
not
want
about
us
that.
making any money off the name, and we're not making money. We're spending money. This
Oh.
costs money. It doesn't.
You guys don't pay me.
No, we don't. We don't pay anybody.
I brought the writer.
Did you?
It said, make sure Jerm brings enough beer for himself. I'm not fucking paying for it. Oh, wait a minute. That wasn't...
But you guys didn't
Gina
bring
wrote
Modelo.
that.
You guys didn't bring Modelo though.
I brought a 12 of Corona.
But you didn't bring Modelo, right?
He brought Modelo.
I brought my
Ah, okay.
See?
You're leaving it too.
The pinchy waiter.
Whatever's left.
But seriously, Dino.
So, anyways, no shout out
appreciate
to
it.
Lynn. Then no shout out to
No
Lynn.
shout outs to Lynn.
We've done enough shout outs to Lynn.
Every once in a while, Lynn was a nice guy. Every once in a while.
No, I'll be the first to admit. I learned
Rocky's
how
got
to
some
do
stories.
this.
Come on, Rocky, bust out the fucking.
It's
I
time to
want
go.
to hear the
Time to
dirt.
go.
We want
Time
to
to go.
want to get deep
He-
into that dirt.
Rocky was the only one to live
You know
at
what?
Metro.
Lynn let me live in the office. When I was sleeping in my car in the parking lot, and Lynn goes, "You know what? Just sleep in the office." So
Yeah.
there's that. And then I tried to talk him into getting a shower in the dressing room. He wouldn't go for it, so that I had a place to take a shower. So I had to take a shower next door at Paul's place, the furniture guy.
House
Who
of
was-
Paul.
House of Paul, furniture guy. Shout out to House of Paul. And he had
The shout out list in the bio is
Paul
going to
let
be...
me Paul let me use his shower, and then sometimes when they had deliveries to make, he would hire me to help him make the delivery. So between the two of them, they took care of me at a low point in my life. But a dog could be taken care of by a mean guy, and still he's taking care of the dog. But
So
he's still
you're the dog
he's
and he's
still
the mean
being
guy.
mean to the dog. So, but there was times when Lynn helped me out, and shout out to the times he helped me out.
That's fair enough. I mean,
What about the
Jerry-
times he didn't pay you?
He always paid me, but in ones,
Wet ones.
yeah,
He paid
the
you
soda
in
bar.
ones?
yeah. I mean, there was one time I got a bonus because I cleaned the area where the bar was that had like 2 inches of dirt, and I went back there with a scraper and I scraped all the dirt. And as I was scraping the dirt, as I was cleaning the place out, sweeping it all, I got like $50 worth of change. So there was that.
That was a good
Yeah.
night.
That was a good bonus. That was a bonus.
I'll admit, out of when I was at my lowest in between Union and I was homeless, and I actually did, I don't really talk about it, but I did slip, and a couple of times I broke my, not sobriety, but I went back to the speed, and he threatened me. He threatened my fiance at the time and kids, and made things really difficult. So I'd slipped a couple times, and I got clean and went back to Metro. And so I guess in a way he kind of did, kick me hard enough when I was down. But realistically, I wouldn't have learned everything that I learned if I didn't have the opportunity when I was 21 years old in
Just turning into a
1989.
love fest for Lynn now? What the hell? I thought this
I'm
was
looking to Rocky. I think we need to hug after this.
Yeah.
But that's going to be for the YouTube
yeah,
portion.
We're definitely hugging after this. Definitely. Even if you didn't tell
But
us
in
good
all
stories,
in
we
all
were listening.
reality, it's
And
there's
all my experiences with him has been negative.
Yeah.
Nothing positive.
that's, I would say 95% of mine. But I was able to do what I did with Soma, and because for some reason he let a 21-year-old punk rocker book all these crazy fucking shows, and we built a scene.
Well, he needed the money.
He did. So did I.
There you go. So
That's why I had 3-4 roommates.
It wasn't the fact. There was always something in it for him.
Agenda.
But
Well, yeah, that's.
Well, yeah, if
that's
you own a
good
club, you
business.
definitely want to earn the money, right? So
Yeah. So put
I don't think it should be anything you should be thanking him for.
Somebody's got to pay the bills.
Well,
He should be thanking you for bringing the business there.
I'm trying to be modest. Realistically, I'm
Stop.
underneath the
Well, this is
table.
the
I'm
wrong
flipping them
podcast
off.
to be modest.
You're around the wrong family to be modest.
This is so brilliant. Finally get to actually be myself. But no, I'll give credit where credit is due. But the long and the short of it is, now fuck them.
You're actually
I have
thinking the guy, but
PTSD.
really behind your back, he probably fucked you over. You just don't even know.
Oh no, he did.
Well, then there
and
you
in
go.
front of me and in back of me. Yeah, he spread some rumors. And no, I didn't leave Soma to start a career selling heroin or whatever the fucking rumors were. But that's
That's what he was telling people?
there's in the earlier podcast we talked about some of the shit he talked.
So he was trying to ruin you, basically.
Oh yeah, no, he did.
Well, when I left SD, he
Did
tried
he?
to tell everybody that he fired me. He didn't fire me. I walked out.
You quit.
So, yeah, straight
Well,
up.
he wants to make himself look better.
Yeah, most people that have an agenda like that and are like that.
So fuck him. I don't understand why you guys are like,
well,
I just
Right? Humble.
trying.
sometimes people do
Yeah.
nice things.
I'm a
you know.
demo punk rocker, and then I just try to keep myself.
It was
in
a
check.
love-hate relationship, basically.
More hate.
hate.
Yes. And if you listen to lyrics in, let's see, the other band, Urine was one that I expressed my frustrations, I would say.
Urine.
Urine? Yeah, we had urine samples were our demo tapes.
That's funny.
Yeah. And no, it's
You're in trouble.
it was different. Yeah. It was I scream at the top of my lungs and, guttural, just the whole thing. Like I said when I was talking about meat, strings flopping in the wind, heavily distorted. Again, I need all
We
those
hope we're not
things.
getting you in trouble. Another lawsuit on you. Because
But you can't get blood from a fucking rock, and that rock has got middle fingers covered all over it. So you got to get through that to get to the rock. Now it would just blow up the podcast.
it sounded like he was out to ruin people's reputation. I don't know. If something didn't go his way, or if he didn't get what he wants, it sounded like he was out to ruin people.
Well, he was a true gnarly businessman, basically, kind of like one of those New York business guys. He didn't know how to run a venue, that's for sure.
He didn't want to work, but he wanted to make money.
Well, isn't that most people?
And I didn't get,
I'm in that boat. I don't want to work, but I want to make money.
see, I'd love to work.
Yes, but do you
That's fun.
want to be dirty about it?
No.
No.
I want more friends than enemies.
Right.
So,
Right,
yeah.
right.
But there's frenemies.
Again, we're going to the group hug thing. This is going to be. I got to get it on YouTube.
Who's hugging?
We're not doing it YouTube either. So screw the
He's-
fucking hugging.
You've probably been to AA before.
Let's hug.
You want to say the prayer? The prayer. The Serenity Prayer. Is that for? It's time for the Serenity Prayer.
No. It is time for a drink, and we should end this before the rails are completely blown up. Yeah, get the drink in here, and we didn't get any barking.
Gina, your drink is under the couch. You knocked it over.
Well, thank you guys for doing this podcast.
How about thank you
Yeah,
for having us on
seriously.
here.
Thank you for
We
asking
appreciate
us.
it.
Hell yeah.
Union
And Metro
and Metro
podcast.
podcast.
Yeah, well, it's going to be all over.
It's all over.
Something.
Already. It's all over. It's over.
This is actually no. Seriously, you guys, appreciate it.
Shit, Jerry forgot to record.
Jerry forgot to press record.
That'll be our cue to go out.
Everybody.
Cheers.
Okay, we have to do it all over again. Start all over.
All right, much love, guys. Cheers.
All right,
Cheers,
bye. We're
cheers.
out.
This podcast was recorded at Red Rum Skates. Mixed by me, Jer. Music provided by Breakacre. We appreciate all our listeners and our guests. Please stay tuned until the next one. Have a great one.